What's up, guys? I'm not sure we need the mics.
How you doing?
Good, yeah, good. How are you?
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. How's the weekend been?
Great, really great. Got my kids with me. Just did some touristy stuff, and their favorite thing was actually the convention, so that's a good sign.
Oh, good. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did they have like the opportunity to walk around, buy anything exciting? Or?
Yeah, they got those swords that flick out.
Like a lightsaber, or like?
Well, my daughter got a lightsaber, and my son got a sword. Do you know the ones? I can't remember what the company's called, but they're on the floor.
Oh
Yeah,
my
they're
gosh,
really cool.
that's great.
Yeah, they were playing with them. I'm sick of the sound now. But they were playing with them all day. It was pretty cool.
What about yourself? Are you taking anything home?
No, I'm thinking more about carry-on luggage.
That's very important. That is
Yeah.
the smart
Yeah.
adult thing.
But we played a ton of. I taught them this weekend. I taught them Exploding Kittens. You guys know that game? It is such a good. If you don't know it, get into it. It's great.
Is that like the?
It's
like,
a card game.
Oh, it's a card game.
It's a card game. It's called Exploding Kittens. It's really fun. Yeah.
I'll take you up on that.
Nice shirt.
Okay, so obviously not getting anything this weekend. Do you collect anything?
No. I've never been a collector of anything.
Just memories.
I mean, I used to go. I don't think you call this a collector. In London, I knew about a bunch of really kind of obscure stores or like warehouses that you wouldn't necessarily know or find out about, and you know they would be. I guess they'd be like salvage companies where you'd find all cool old stuff that didn't really have a use for anything anymore. It was just I've over the years I've got a lot of really random stuff that I love, but it's mostly like stuff you can put in the house. So like I have a little motorbike from a 1950s carousel, which does nothing except occasionally falls on you and hurts you. Yeah, like kind of stuff you can hang up, like I have a Kentucky bourbon old signpost that has bullet holes in it, which is quite fun. Yeah. It's just stuff that you can put in the house that's kind of a good conversation starter.
But you didn't put the bullet holes there.
No.
That way.
That's why I like it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
So being here at a convention with all things fandoms, what were some of your fandoms growing up?
Sport was my thing. So I never read a Marvel comic or a DC comic growing up. We had something in the UK called the Beano. Do you guys know that? Yeah, is it Beano and the Dandy? The Beano and the Dandy. So I used to read that a little bit. Dennis the Menace and but mainly it was like football and rugby and cricket stuff. You know, like sport.
Okay, so what are your teams?
Well, Arsenal. That's why I told him he had a good shirt.
Okay. Great
Arsenal's
shirt.
Arsenal's my big my big love, my team that I love. I have season tickets there, despite the fact that I live 3,000 miles away from the stadium, so I very rarely go.
That's commitment, though.
Yeah, I just can't bring myself to go. It took me 15 years to get on the waiting list to get them, so I can't bring myself to give them up. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Well, I love
Movies. I mean, movies is I collected DVDs. I collected VHS when I was young, and then I collected DVDs, and I still have all my DVDs, which is, yeah. And I never, ever put any of them on, ever. Because I'll tell you why, because I ran out of space because I was living in a one-bedroom flat apartment in London, and so I did something foolish, which I wish I hadn't done, but I did it. It's too late. I took them all out of the covers, the DVD. I had 2,000 DVDs or something. I took them all out of the covers, and I put them in a suitcase box thing, but I didn't get round to labeling them. Oh, no. Right. And so now, if I want to watch a movie that I know I have, it's like go down in the basement, open up the thing, go through, and hope you get lucky. Or go on Apple on Apple TV and rent it for $3.99. You know what I mean? And so I just say it's good for the movie industry. I'll just.
I feel like this is kind of a fun game of roulette. Like you never know what you're gonna get.
Every now and again, there's a movie you can't get, and I know I have it downstairs.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
One day I will finally get round to chucking them all out.
So, what was your introduction to Marvel?
Well, I knew about Spider-Man. I remember, I grew up in London, so we lived in this in like an apartment with no garden or anything like that, and I was very active. I played a lot of sport all the time. I remember a very vivid memory of discovering that if my palms and my feet were sweaty and sticky, I could climb up the door frame of my bedroom. Yeah. And so I remember being quite young, like probably my daughter's age now, and thinking like I'm kind of like Spider-Man,
You might be.
Yeah. So I remember I knew about him, but then when the movies started coming out, I went to see them all, and really enjoyed them. Like when the Iron Man films came out, I went to see all those. Tom Hiddleston is a very good friend of mine, so I was really excited about the first Thor movie, and then he went and played the main villain in the first Avengers and stuff like that. Andrew Garfield is a good friend of mine, and he of course plays Spider-Man. I have Henry Cavill. I did Stardust with Henry Cavill, and obviously he's a DC guy. Did an amazing job with Superman. So all the Christopher Nolan Batman films. So I've always enjoyed going to watch them, and it was such a spectacle to go to the movie theater and watch those films. I feel like I got lucky as well. Like when I was kind of growing up in the industry, that was before streaming, and movie going was still a massive thing. It was like an event. We would all go, and a bunch of us actors, British actors, were living in LA and trying to get work, and we'd meet at the ArcLight and go and watch whatever movies came out together, and yeah. But that was but I really didn't know much at all. I still had never read a comic, and the story that most people know at this point is that my first audition for Daredevil, I didn't know that he was blind, so I didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, so since we are mentioning all these superheroes, out of curiosity, to you personally, what is your definition of a superhero?
Wow, what a good question. I don't know if this answers the question. I remember thinking when I was kind of getting ready to play the role, and I was in the research stage for Daredevil. I remember thinking that it's going to be really. Daredevil's known as the man without fear. And I remember thinking it's going to be really uninteresting to watch someone who doesn't experience fear, and whose moral compass is perfect, and someone who doesn't, who just is innately good in everything. Every decision that they make is innately right and good, and quote unquote perfect. I remember thinking that TV show is not going to last. It's going to be much more interesting to watch a very flawed individual who has to work really hard to do the next right thing time and time again, and who is at times tormented by their flaws and by their shortcomings. The difference being that ultimately what makes him a superhero is that he can dig deep enough to do the right thing, to get to the right place, and through whilst making all the mistakes that we all make. I just think that's going to be. I think when you watching TV and film, when we relate to the characters, we enjoy the content so much more. I certainly feel that way. So I wanted to make him as relatable as possible. So I kind of made a decision that the reason he's called the man without fear is because people see what he does and say, wow, this guy is fearless. He is the man without fear. But deep down, he's feeling great fear. He's just punching through the fear and doing what needs to be done anyway. So I think that's what makes a superhero. It's like it's not that it's easy; it's that it's really hard, but you do it anyway.
I think that's the perfect answer. Obviously, you've now been with Matt for what, 10 years now?
I think 11. Yeah.
11. How has your relationship with Matt Murdock personally evolved over these 11 years?
He's gotten older. It definitely it definitely feels that way. It definitely feels like, I don't think that's not particularly surprising, I guess, but like as I definitely feel, I mean, I'm trying to, every time we do a new season, I'm thinking of the experiences that he's happened on screen, the stuff that we have shot and we talked about, and sometimes the stuff that's happened off screen as well, like, between the end of the Netflix show to the beginning of the Defenders, of Daredevil, Spawn Again, there was a few years had passed, and so I thought about that period of time and what might have happened there, and you're trying always to bring, the experiences of your life change you fundamentally. The big ones certainly do, at least, and I'm trying to make sure that that's true for Matt. I think when we met him in 2015, he was still pretty naive, still coming to terms with his development into a vigilante and ultimately a superhero. And then since then, he's had certain experiences which no one would ever be the same after. I think that obviously the death of Foggy is massive. There will always be a before and after Matt Murdock. That will always be something that is, just one memory away from, kind of a real rock bottom for him. I think he's got wiser, and then also at times, sometimes there's, there's accumulation of there can be an accumulation of frustration and resentment and anger and pain that means that if you catch him in the wrong moment, maybe he's despite being wise, maybe he's more hot-headed. Maybe it's and these are the questions you're just trying to ask from scene to scene, season to season. Where what's his attitude at the moment towards himself? What's his attitude towards God? Obviously, Daredevil is a devout Catholic, and what's his relationship to this pest, Wilson Fisk, who doesn't seem to go down? So yeah, that's the kind of stuff. Just trying to think about it and trying to make it appropriate, and trying to make it somewhat different, so it's not the same story.
Yeah. Well, in addition to yourself, the rest of the cast is absolutely brilliant. But out of curiosity, which of your cast members do you think would make the worst real-life vigilante?
Well, I'll tell this story, which some of you may know, which is I actually think it's funny. When they cast Wilson Bethel as Bullseye, early on in that it was season 3 of the Netflix show. He loses his temper and he has to punch through a wall in his apartment, and so they set up the wall so that it had like a flat spot in the middle of the structure on set. And they showed him like you punch here and it's just like plaster, but it's not even, it's like paper mache. You'll just go straight through it. And he's playing a Bullseye character who never misses, and he missed, and he broke his hand. yeah. So and we had to like rewrite the schedule for a while because he couldn't shoot. Anyway, I let it for a couple of weeks. I was like, didn't say anything, just, I hope you're okay, do you need anything? And then one day on set, I text him, I was like, dude, no way, have you seen the they just released the Bullseye logo for your new costume? And he's like, oh my God, I haven't seen it yet, send it to me. So I sent him like the Bullseye circles, but then the crosses were off center. I like drew it on a napkin and sent it to him. Yeah, so he wouldn't make a good Bullseye.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Fair. So if it's okay with you, we're going to take some questions from you guys. So we do have a microphone right down in front for whatever questions you might have. Oh, hello.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
First of all, I want to say my mom wanted to say hi to you. She's sitting over there.
Hi, Mom.
But,
Hi, Mom.
but my question to you is that if you could choose any like Marvel superhero or villain or something that you'd want like Matt Murdock or Daredevil to fight alongside, fight against, or anything, who would that be?
I mean, I've been so lucky so far. So, like, I don't think you can get better than the likes of, Bullseye, Punisher, and Fisk. It was really fun to be in Spider-Man for a scene as Matt Murdock, but based on the history of the comics and how much Matt Murdock and Peter Parker's lives are intertwined, and how much great story there is in the comics, it would be cool to get some like action stuff with that character at some point. But I don't believe that's. I always have to say this. I don't believe there's any plan for that at the moment. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Hello. What's your name?
Ashton.
Ashton.
How you doing? My question for you is, can Matt Murdock and Esier be friends?
Who?
Esier. Esier from Clay Obscure Expedition 33.
Oh, right.
Can those two ever be friends?
Okay. just preface. Who is SK?
The big guy.
Okay, I don't know who that is. So I have to apologize.
It's
For
okay.
those of you who don't know, I was very lucky in that I was asked to do the voice for a computer game.
Gustav.
Yeah, for this game, Expedition 33. So is it called Expedition 33 or is it called Clair Obscure?
You can either call it Clay Obscure.
It's
or
the
you just
same
call it-
thing.
Yeah, you can, either one.
Okay, so I was asked to do this game. I'm not a gamer, so
Yeah.
I haven't played it. I knew nothing about it other than I went into a studio and I did 4 hours probably of voiceover for this character. I remember being in the studio and thinking, this is beautiful. Like, the visuals are extraordinary. They've come a long way since Mario 64, which was probably the last computer game I played. But yeah, suddenly I'm like, people are talking to me about this time all the time. I took my kids on a swamp tour, and two of the people recognized me, and I assume it's from Daredevil, and they were like, "You're Gustav," and I'm like, "Who?" So the character I voice is this character Gustav.
Yeah.
So I don't know because I haven't played
It's
the
all
game.
good, it's okay.
I don't know, but he's like the big baddie at the end.
No, he's the lovable goof.
Oh,
The lovable goof. Yeah, I want to play the game. I need to play the game. I need to get a console first, and then I need to play the game. But thanks for the question. I'm sorry.
But you did a fantastic job.
Thank you. I mean, I feel people keep telling me that, and I feel like a fraud because I just did the voice.
You're too busy with exploding kittens. You'll get to that one next.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, but it's so cool that it's had this. Like, I'm so happy for these guys because they're not like a big company that make a ton of games. And I hear it's like it's a front runner to win like Game of the Year or something. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's great.
What?
They're agreeing. They're
Oh,
giving
great.
the thumbs up. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Mary. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Mary.
Please allow me a moment to bask in your handsomeness for just
Oh my
a second.
God! So
Okay.
no, not allowed.
No, I'm ready. Okay, so obviously you've teamed up with other people in the Marvel Universe and with the Defenders and everything. Is there any Marvel character that you would love to see Daredevil take on in a fight?
We had that one, didn't we?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yes.
might have walked in before.
Oh, you
it,
did?
But
I kind of
sorry.
didn't answer. Okay, I'll ask this.
Okay.
Can you tell me who you would like to see?
Oh, gosh. Maybe Echo.
Oh, cool. That's a good
I think,
answer.
because, I mean, obviously...
We
the
worked together in
blind and,
yeah.
The strengths kind of, meeting up.
That's a
That would
cool
be
idea.
interesting.
Yeah. Especially because she has that affiliation with Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we worked together in the show Echo. Yeah, that's a great answer.
Yeah,
She
I
was
think-
great. Aleka Cox did a beautiful job with that show as well. Like I
Yeah.
hope they use her more. She was awesome.
Thank you so
And we share the same surname.
much. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Great.
Thank you, Mary.
Hello. Hey.
What's up, Punisher?
Hi, what's up? I'm Devin. My mom would want you to say hi to her. She's over there, recording in the back.
I think
Hi,
we have
Mom.
to, like,
The mums are here
collectively say
today.
hi to everyone's mom. Like, hello.
I don't know if anyone's asked this question before, but how did you prepare for the role of Daredevil? Because I've heard my mom. She told me that you put like fully like contact lenses in your eyes that black out your eyes.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
That would be
That
really
was
interesting.
not
to
a
hear.
good look. Yes, I had these contacts made that were perfectly replicated my retinas, but they were blackout. You couldn't see anything. And for the first couple of days on set, back in 2014, I wore them. But they were no good for two reasons. One, because I was the most annoying actor anyone had ever worked with, because people had to help me around the set. Like I had to be led from like around, and like I had to and then they had to have someone help me take out the lenses all the time. It was a nightmare. But also it didn't look good. Like it didn't, when you looked on camera, when you watched the scene, it just looked like even though I couldn't physically see the other actors, it looked like I was looking at them. Because you do tend to look pretty close to where the sound is coming from. Yes, that didn't work. And it ended up being much better just to kind of figure out, based on where the camera is, where they position the camera, figure out where the best place for me to look is, so that it looks to the camera that you're not looking directly into the eyes of the other actor. But it was a really fun role. It's been such an amazing role for an actor to play, because for this particular character, there's so many things that I had to learn. Obviously, I'm not American, so I have to an American accent. I'd never done any martial art training, so I had to get stuck into that. I'd never owned a gym membership. I'd never really, like, I do play sport, and I did like yoga and stuff, but I'd never lifted weights. And it's part of the character is that he's physically strong, and so I started going to the gym all the time, which I've actually learned to really enjoy. Like I do that all the time now for my own sake anyway. I don't know anything about being a lawyer, so I had to listen to a ton of like bluff your way into being a lawyer type books, and listen to podcasts about, just trying to pick up basic kind of terminology. Obviously the visually impairment element was massive, not just what your eyes are doing, but also, how you use a cane, how you make a cup of tea, how you play pool. There's a scene where we play pool, and there's certain ways of doing all these things. So I had to work with a visually impaired coach to get all that stuff right. And then I also had to read comics. I didn't know anything about Daredevil in general. I hadn't read any of the books. I was just constantly reading comics to try and like learn the history of the character, and kind of get a grips on like the tone and just the fundamentals. So it was really fun. It was a lot of work at first, but it was fun. It was really fun.
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much,
Thank
man.
you.
I love you so much.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Devin. I appreciate you, dude. Say hi to your mum for me.
What's your name?
Hey, Charlie. My name's John. How you doing?
Good, you?
Two-part question. One, in your opinion, how do you think Matthew Murdock would react if he were asked to join the New Avengers? Do you think that character would be interested in that sort of a team up? And then part two of that question, if you, Charlie Cox, were asked to join in a major MCU motion picture movie, is that something you would have an interest in doing?
That's so funny, yeah. That's a really good question. I think Matt Murdoch would kind of think about it. He's a lone wolf. He likes to work by himself, doesn't let it get, he's not really he's a reluctant kind of team-up guy, I think, a bit like Frank Castle is. Charlie Cox would be absolutely thrilled. I'd be chomping at the bit to do that. So that's a great question.
Hey.
Hi, my name is Elliot.
Hi, Elliot.
My question for you is, have you ever taken anything off of a set? Or if you haven't, is there anything that you had on set that you were like, I wish I had this. I wish I could just take this with me?
There's a couple of things in my house that I do not know how they got there, but they are there. The fun thing was that I was invited to, early on in the show, like 2015 or 16, I was invited to a gala for the American Foundation for the Blind, and they asked me if I could donate anything for the auction. So I asked the production, and they gave me a set of the Daredevil glasses, the red glasses. So I told the company, I told the foundation that I had the glasses. I took a photo of them, and then when my wife and I showed up at the event, there were all these things you could bid on, like a trip on a boat or a restaurant, a meal at a restaurant. My glasses were there, and you could bid on them. So. And then everyone went into dinner. And so right before dinner, I just kind of looked at the glasses, and they were like, the bid was like $300. I was like, I'll pay that. So I decided, the dinner started at 8:30, but the auction closed at 9. So at 8:55, I got up to go to the toilet, and I went in to see the glasses to see what they were up to, and they were still at $300. So I put down $500. And then at the end and I won the glasses. And
Congrats.
Then at the end of the night, you have to go and claim. And so I went up to the woman to claim them, and I was like, I won the glasses. And she said, okay, great. Here's a telephone number of the gentleman who has them. He's going to call you, and you can call this number, and he'll get them to you. And I'm like, so that's actually me. So I will arrange for myself to keep them. But yeah, I still have them, and I have a couple of batons as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think at this point they should give me a suit.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask. In fact, I'm going to ask about that. They're very expensive, so I imagine I might not get one, but we'll see. I can ask.
Thank you.
Maybe on my last day ever, I'll just not take it off.
Put it under your clothes.
Yeah. Do the reverse superhero thing and put my regular clothes over my superhero suit. Yeah.
Totally. Hey.
I'm Landry.
Hi.
Good evening, Mr. Cox. I just want to ask, do you prefer shooting the scenes where you get to play Matt Murdock as a civilian lawyer, or where you actually get to suit up and be Daredevil?
It's a great question. I like both, and the truth is, I like the variation. It would not be nearly as fun if I only got one of them. Playing Matt Murdock is very, very interesting. Often he has much more kind of detailed, nuanced dialogue scenes with people, and the stuff in the courtroom is so fun. So I really enjoy that. It's also way more comfortable to be in a lawyer's suit than a superhero suit. But then when I do suit up as Daredevil and put on that suit, I'm still a little kid at heart, so it's pretty wild. I'm in my dressing room and I put on a superhero suit. I'm over 40 years old, and I sometimes I look in the mirror, I'm like, what are you doing with your life? It's kind of wild, but it's fun. I have young kids now, I can FaceTime my children in the suit, and they kind of can't believe it. They're so excited. But it's really, by the end of that day, it's a lot. It's exhausting, and the suit is very form-fitting. It's very tight. It's very restrictive, but just putting it on makes me sweat. So you can anytime as soon as I do any action, I'm drenched for the rest of the day. So it's not particularly comfortable, but it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great question. Hey.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
I was wondering if you had a favorite Daredevil fight scene to film.
Yeah, my favorite one was in season 3, the prison fight. Season 3, I think it's episode 4 or 5. Just because it was such a huge feat, it took us, a number of days to rehearse it, and then the production took off a whole day of shooting, which is very expensive because you have to pay everyone, and we shot nothing for the first day, and we just all went up to this prison and in Staten Island, and we rehearsed it for an entire day, and then we had 2 days to try and shoot it. So the first day was just the rehearsal of the fight itself. The second day the morning, we rehearsed the fight with the camera department and the sound department, because it's almost as grueling for them, especially the cameraman carrying that camera. I think the scene's over 11, 12 minutes, something long. And I had to do like a ton of it because I'm not in the superhero suit, I'm in the lawyer suit, and so most of that, the 90% of that is me. So that's the one I'm the most proud of. And then there are like little ones here and there that I think are really fun, very cool. Like the first scene with John Bernthal in season 2, the stairwell fight. Although I remember that begins with me carrying him like downstairs, down through a corridor, and then putting him in an elevator before the fight starts. And I'm like, that guy's not a light dude. And I'm like, you want me to start the fight? But you're like giving me a major disadvantage here, guys. I got to carry John Bernthal for 3.5 minutes before I start the fight. So that was a fun one. Thank you. Great question, Christian.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry. Oh. Thank you. Oh.
There we go.
Perfect.
Sorry about that.
No,
No
you're
worries,
fine.
thanks.
What's your name?
My name is Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
First, I just want to say that you are the best Daredevil
No, thank
ever. But I want to ask, like, have you been starstruck by anybody?
Sport people. I've been lucky enough to meet a couple of my my heroes, my soccer heroes, my football heroes, soccer heroes. So yeah, that's what gets me. I'm trying to think if there's anyone. I think if there's anyone in my industry. I mean, when I was straight out of drama school, I was actually taken out of drama school at the end of the first year to do a movie with Al Pacino, and that was pretty wild. I was probably 19 or 20, and 1 minute I was in rehearsals for the Nativity play, and the next minute I was in Luxembourg on a set with Al Pacino. So that was pretty wild. Yeah.
I'm sure you were great in the Nativity play as well. So
Thanks.
you did amazing.
I'm lucky enough to do, still when I was young, at like 23, 24, I did a film with De Niro. And obviously, I was at that age, I was already a film buff and film fanatic, so I'd seen all of both Pacino and De Niro's work. It was pretty wild. My first day I met Bob, as he suggests you call him, which always felt weird. We had to fence with him, on day one. It was pretty wild, pretty crazy when so yeah, I guess you could say I was pretty starstruck by that. When I worked with Pacino, we had a gentleman on set, a lovely actor who sadly is no longer with us, called John Sessions. But John was known in the UK for doing an Al Pacino impression. Like he'd done it on like TV. And we never knew if Al knew this. And we certainly didn't bring it up. John was like, please don't bring it up, in case he was offended by it or whatever. But when he wasn't around, John would do his Pacino impression all the time. And there was one night where a bunch of the cast had gone out to dinner. And Al always sat with the producers down one end. And I didn't even have the guts to go and sit nearby. I just was like, I'll just sit down the other end, whatever, and just keep to myself. One night as we were leaving, some people were talking about going to this place called the Piano Bar in Luxembourg, and John Sessions kind of came up behind me and in his Al Pacino voice, which I can't do, but he was like, "John, you coming to the Piano Bar?" And I went, "Oh, fuck off, John," and I turned and it was Al Pacino. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Awesome. Yeah, and I was like, "Yes, sir. Yes, I'm coming to the Piano Bar."
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are much better than Ben Affleck.
That wasn't a bad Pacino. I think that was a good Pacino.
No,
I think
not when you've
can
heard a
workshop
good.
it,
Yeah.
Thank you, Valerie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. What's your name?
My name's Graham.
Hi, Graham.
I just wanted to ask, what's your favorite costume that you've been in?
So I know there have been some leaked set photos. So the one that we've just finished with in season 2 of Born Again, I think is my favorite for a couple of reasons. One, because it is badass, but also because every suit that we've had so far, in some way, is represented in the comics. We've had a couple of red ones, I think 3 red ones. We've had the She-Hulk golden, yellow and red, gold. But there's a particular, and there's something I can't, without giving away too much, but there's something that we do in this final season that doesn't exist in the comics. So it is unique to our show. And so I'm pretty excited about that. And it has the finally the earned double Ds on the chest, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Great question.
All right, we got a few minutes left. We got 5 questions. I think
Let's
this
do
should
it.
be perfect. What's up, Spider-Man? What's your name?
Brendan. I was gonna ask, if you could change anything to your character, what would you change? For the Daredevil one.
If I could change anything about him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, good question. That's a really difficult one because, like I said, the stuff that you would maybe consider like downsides, or shortcomings, is the stuff as an actor is really fun to play with. So, I don't know. Maybe he's. What's the polite way to say this? He's a little. He probably gets around too much. If some of you will know what that means. Yeah. Maybe he's had too many girlfriends.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Great question.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Joey. I have a quick question. How is it playing the role of Deadpool? Sorry. Daredevil.
How is it playing it?
Yeah.
It's great. Does it look? Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. Well, how old are you?
12.
So you have to check with your parents, but you could probably start watching some of it. It's great. It's so much fun. It's incredibly grueling at times. It's a lot of hard work. It takes its toll on your body because it's very physical, but it's super fun. It's like a childhood dream. I get to play. I remember me and my best friend when I was a kid. Like every sentence began with "Let's pretend this. Let's pretend that. Let's pretend that you." That's all. You're just constantly playing make believe, and I'm still doing it. It's pretty wild. That's pretty cool. But great question. Thank you.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
I was gonna ask, which do you prefer? Do you prefer goats or do you prefer cows? I just want to know.
It's a great question.
In general?
In general, yeah. Which one do you prefer?
Goats.
Thank you.
Have
a
you
good day.
Have you played the game Taco Cat?
I have.
Taco Cat cheese goat pizza?
Yeah,
Taco Cat goat cheese pizza?
I have.
Yeah. So that's why I said goat.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hard-hitting question. My goodness. Hey.
I mean, I've had that question so many times, but
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Gabe. I don't have a mom for you to meet, but I have a dad back there.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah. So I was wondering, say like Daredevil and Moon Knight were to cross over, how well do you think they'd get along, or like how much do you think they'd hate each other?
That's cool. That would be cool. Well, I don't know. I really liked the Moon Knight show. I thought that was so well done.
Right.
I really enjoyed that. And Oscar Isaacs is one of my favorite actors.
Right.
I think he's one of the best actors of my generation. Maybe is he the same age as me? I don't know, but of my kind of generation. So I'd love to work with him. I was lucky enough a few years ago to work with Ethan Hawke, so it was pretty cool. So, and he's an absolute gentleman and another amazing actor. I think they'd get on. I think they could work together. I think there's a potential pretty cool team up there. So, what do you think?
I think there'd be like a fair amount of tension. I don't know, two different religions. So.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I think they'd get along in the end.
But tension's fun. Yeah, you gotta have tension. All my best friends, you gotta have disagreements.
Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Lex.
Hi, Lex.
So since the chemical spill that blinded Matt Murdock also created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, how do you think Daredevil would react to seeing the turtles?
I think that would be the best team up. So that's I've kind of forgot about this, but when I was a kid, I was definitely into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, and that was a wild. For those of you who don't know, look it up. Apparently, it is true that the creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were huge Daredevil fans. So although they don't exist in the same universe, technically they decided that the chemical spillage, the toxic spillage that blinded Matt Murdock, then went down into the sewer and created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is apparently why instead of in Daredevil you have the character of Stick, and in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles you have Twig, and also you have the organization in Daredevil the Hand, and in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles you have the Foot. Yeah. How much is your mind blown right now? Isn't that cool?
My life is changed going forward.
I would love to team up with the teenagers. That would be so cool.
Cowabunga.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
cowabunga. Cowabunga, that's it.
I'm back again.
Hi.
My mom, she wanted me to ask you this. Was that you doing the walk in shame in She-Hulk or stunt double?
No, that was me, and
That
it
was you?
That was me, and it was my idea as well.
Wow.
Well, I think they wrote it, and I think it was in the script, but it was my idea to take the boots off for no reason. Like, why would you ever take boots off? Because the reason people take shoes off is normally because they're high heel. You know, they're difficult to walk in. But I thought it'd be fun if he wasn't wearing boots.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what did
Yeah,
they,
that really divides people. Some people do not like that.
what did they say when you came up with that? Like,
I don't remember. I think they were obviously they were up for it. They let me do it. It was a funny scene to shoot. It was so random. Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, our final question.
Hi there, I'm Margarita. You mentioned a moment ago that your childhood friends used to play pretend. Do you keep in touch with any of your childhood friends? Are they still in your life? And how do they feel about you, from this kid they used to play with to now being Daredevil?
So that guy I was talking about, my parents moved to a little village outside London before I was born. And my dad went to church, and the priest was late. And so he started talking to the guy next to him. And the guy next to him said, "Oh, my wife's pregnant." And my dad said, "Oh, my wife's pregnant." And then 2 weeks later, he was back in church, and the gentleman who he'd met that day saw my dad, and he came over and said, "I just thought I'd let you know my wife had a little boy called Charlie." And my dad said, "So did my wife." And he is still my very best friend.
Oh,
yeah.
how does he feel? How does he react seeing his childhood best friend? Like, to him, you're still just Charlie, and then
That's funny.
to the world. You're
That's funny.
Daredevil.
It's funny. I hadn't really thought of that. Mainly because he's one of the most impressive human beings in the world. This guy. He speaks I think 7 or 8 languages, and he speaks Farsi and Dari. Like, he's a really, really impressive human being. He's constantly recently he's done a lot of because he's a specialist on the Middle East. And so he does a lot of he's a guest on a lot of news programs in the UK as an expert on what's going on in the Middle East. So it hasn't really occurred to me. I mean, I know he's probably very proud of me, and he's always watches everything I've done. He's always like comes to set, and like he's we're still very, very close. But I actually think I'm more impressed with him than I think he is with me.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Margarita.
And which 2 Ninja Turtles would you guys be? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think he was. I'm not sure that he was into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because he wasn't allowed. I was allowed a NES. Do you guys know what NESs are? Is anyone old enough to remember NES? Yeah, NES was the original Nintendo before SNES. Before the Super Nintendo was a NES. So I had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game on the NES, and I was always Donatello. Yeah, but he wasn't allowed a computer console, so you had to come to play at mine. But I don't know if he was into that. He was probably already like reading Shakespeare. That's how impressive he is.
Well, this has been such a joy. Thank you
Thank
so
you. Thanks,
much
guys.
for being here
Great
this
question.
weekend.
Thank you.
Before we wrap it up, if it's okay with you, and if it's okay with all of y'all, we're going to take a big group picture.
Great.
Is that okay?
Yeah, a not so big group pressure.
No, this is perfect. If you guys want to come to the stage, just not on the stage, we have a photographer. So what I'll say to you guys, try to stay within the monitors just so we can make sure we can see everybody. So make new friends, condense to the middle. You can be far back. We'll still see you guys.